What up, man?
Sweating.
We're back here at the American AF shop.
HQ.
HQ. We did this before.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
Should we even talk about that?
Yeah, definitely got to
We've got to talk about that. So we've done this. This is just like deja vu for us, right?
Yes.
Feels like we've done this before.
Except it was a lot cooler when we did the first time.
It was much cooler because it wasn't like heat advisory, hottest day of the summer so far.
Yeah.
100. I think it's supposed to feel like 105. So
outside, not in the shop.
well, in the shop it feels like 180 is what it feels because it's a little bit hotter because we just opened it up. But why are we doing this the second time in a row?
David.
Not you guys. The guy behind the camera. No. There you go. There you go. He took our tape and he recorded over it. And so we got to redo it. Hopefully we'll give you guys as good a quality as we did the first time because the first time I think we did a damn good job. It was beautiful. It was unbelievable. Like, it was literally the best video I've ever done.
Yeah.
But you guys won't see it.
You never know. You'll never know.
Anyways, when I got the new, that's how long it's been because I got the new truck. It was shortly after I got the new truck. I was like, hey, I need to stock the new truck with everything that I could possibly want in a truck while I'm on the road, right?
Yeah.
So I called you and we talked back and forth. We're like, you know what? Let's come up with a list of things that you would recommend because you've got a history of
breaking down or fixing stuff or having issues. Yeah.
And I've got a history of breaking down and then just being stuck.
I know a lot of this stuff's already been used in other videos though, I think, right?
Yeah, so a lot of it's been used. Luckily, it does go to good use. We do put it in good use for sure. So all this stuff you see here, except for this, extra stuff over here, but all this stuff that you see on the table goes into the small toolbox that I have. Actually, it's not that small, but inside the toolbox. And in there, you actually see that I didn't bring out here was a big, long chain, as well as there's a strap in there as well that I didn't bring out here. But I believe there's a pack of straps somewhere too that we had bought. Everything fits in the toolbox or in the truck for the most part. And it's just stuff that we need on a day-to-day basis.
Hopefully you don't need it, but if you need it, you better to have it. Yeah, I don't know if anybody has had to call a mobile mechanic out or a heavy wrecker. That's very expensive. This stuff's not cheap, but it's cheaper than a mechanic, especially if it's something you can fix yourself, something you can address right now and keep rolling instead of spending hours on the side of the road or paying somebody to bring you tools. It's just nice to have these on hand if possible.
I have the entire list.
So I know you had links and everything.
I had links and everything put together for the last video. So hopefully we'll be able to put it in the, I'll have to find it again because my phone crashed. I lost everything on my phone.
That was 2 phones ago.
Text messages, yeah. So we'll have to find that again, hopefully. Or I'll have to redo it thanks to somebody. But, okay, I should probably stop blaming him for everything.
Most of this came off Amazon, so you probably got that in your cart. Or,
yeah.
I mean, not your cart,
just
your
the links again.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
And then the spreadsheet again. But yeah, I will have everything for the description in the description below for you guys if you're interested in. You don't need everything. Pick and choose what you think you need. For the most part, I feel like sooner or later, you're going to need everything on this list, and we'll explain why. So,
if you don't have room on your trucks, I know like that box isn't real big. One of my trucks has a good size box. The other one's not so great. If you can't carry it on the truck, keep it at the house. Keep it at your shop. Have it ready and accessible so somebody can bring it to you, or you can address it when you get back to the yard if possible. But yeah, if you can't carry it on the truck, at least some stuff to have around.
Yep. So let's go with what's visible, I guess, at first. What do you think?
Left to right?
Left to right? Well, all the way on the left.
Yeah.
So this is an collapsible broom. So I literally can take this apart, which it was taken apart, and you just screw it on. And it's literally just this collapsible broom you put inside your toolbox, and it takes up about a foot, a little over, probably 10 inches.
Well, each section, each black, that's a section.
Yep.
So yeah, that's all the bigger it is.
Yep. So really nice to have. Obviously, everybody wants to carry a broom in their vehicle somehow. I don't have a big broom mount or anything like that, so I want it in the toolbox out of the way and for it to be collapsible.
Well, whether you're cleaning up after you pick up a dumpster, I am adamant about if I pick up a dumpster, the stuff that fell around the edges, I try not to leave the job sites dirty, especially if it's a permanent customer where I service their cans all the time. When I pick the dumpster, I will always clean up the trash around it. It might have been under it, they didn't see, throw it in the dumpster and try to keep it clean. I think customers respect that.
Yep.
Same thing with the shovel or cleaning out your cans.
Also a collapsible shovel.
Yeah, the button.
Just comes out in pieces.
You don't know how it works. Slide that collar down.
I just did.
Fold.
There we go. It's a little stuck because it hasn't been used yet. And then this folds in as well. Oh, there we go. So yeah, the nice thing is it's collapsible. Again, fits in your toolbox. Really nice, and you're good to go. Whoops. Stand by. So, anyways.
The heat's got him angry.
Pretty cool. Good to have. All right. All this stuff is just shop stuff. Obviously gloves. I think we got gloves in there.
Yes.
But definitely always want at least a jug of engine oil and coolant. Make sure you buy the right ones. Make sure you're buying the ones for your truck, right?
Yes.
I think I've called Dylan about 5 different times, even though I've called him about the same truck.
The trans fluid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure
you know what trans fluid you need. If you don't have it in the truck, at least have it in the shops. If you check it in the morning, need it, start your day off right. You're not chasing oils down.
Yep. They're not all universal, by the way.
No.
So make sure you get the right ones. But carrying it in your truck, just make sure. I had an issue where I didn't put it upright, so it leaked everywhere, which is why we literally wiped all the tools off again. But you want to make sure that even though it's nice and tight, when you store it in your toolbox, store it upright. Try to find a way to do that. I've talked about roller skates on the channel before. I use it as an upsell to some of my customers. I use it for driveway protection. You guys may or may not use these, but I think they come in really handy when you have a customer who's super picky and who wants to make sure that their brand new driveway that they just poured, it doesn't get damaged, although they won't get damaged by my dumpsters and by my excellent driving skills.
That's right.
Because it barely touches the ground. But if they want the extra added protection, I got no problems with that perception or that thought. I'll drop these down. You can tell this one's been used for sure. So have the other ones. I've got a set in there. I've got a mount. I just haven't mounted it to the truck.
The other thing, I don't have roller skates personally, but the driveway protection, even if customers don't request it, I've had some that were adamant that I put something under the dumpster. So I did that. I'll also do it. I do keep stuff. I do old school wood in the truck. If you get the pea gravel driveways,
Yep.
even if customers like, oh, it'll be fine, I don't want that phone call later. They're like, hey, what'd you do? So I will put stuff under it just to avoid the drama. So I mean, the roller skates are a great option. I just haven't made that investment.
Just be careful because even though it's protection, right? Here in Texas, although here in Texas we don't have very many asphalt driveways, but I sunk and my dumpster sunk on an asphalt street when I was doing a swap out. Not with I didn't put roller skates down, but it would if it.
I have one in a big warehouse parking lot right now, so thankfully it's not a big deal. It's right up against the edge of the curb. They're using dumpsters for concrete and dirt.
Yep.
And Tanner picked one up, and he called me freaking out because it sunk all the way to the grease pins on the rear rollers.
I believe it.
About 4 inches just sunk in the asphalt.
See, I did it on the city street, so I had no problem just being like,
bye.
See ya. But yeah, I mean, we don't have much asphalt here, I guess. I mean, that's probably why. Because,
not residential stuff, yeah.
Up in Wisconsin, for sure, when I used to live up there, lots of
probably has to do with the freeze points. I bet asphalt's probably handles that flex better than concrete, maybe.
I don't know.
I've lived here my whole life.
So, got that. You want, what you got here?
Well, you got online.
Oh, yeah. This is this is actually my favorite. Go for it. You actually recommended,
so
for sure, this.
I like these indexing bars because you can get a bigger bar, compact, and then be able to pick your angle for that head. I'm sure that everybody has had dumpster doors, especially our tub style, when I use them on demos and they use excavators to pack them in there. Those doors don't like to open. I have definitely had to stick pry bars in there to get the door kind of started. They'll get bound up. I mean, pry bars are handy, period, when stuff gets wedged. I've had my tarp arm get jammed under my flatbed and was kind of in a bind, and I was able to stick a pry bar in there and just pop it loose instead of using hydraulic power, which can get kind of chaotic. The pins that hold the safety pin for our door latch, I've had to pry those out before because somebody hit them with a skid steer and bend stuff. The other part, the pipe wrench, comes in handy when you have to straighten those handles out. You pick them up at a job and they've hit it with a skid steer, bent your handle all up. I've used the pipe wrench to bend my handles back out so I can just open a door to dump them. The combination of the two, just definitely good security on that oh crap moment.
Oh, I mean, it's definitely good security. Somebody cuts you off, you literally just go like that, flick it out, and you're good to go. Like, you're ready to rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? Come on with it, you know? So it all depends on what what attitude I'm in is whether I want this to point straight or up and down. You know, how much did somebody really piss me off? But I can't tell you how many times this has come in handy since I bought.
It's a great tire thumper too.
It is a good tire thumper, but yeah, no, for sure. When you're talking about the doors being stuck, it's not really the doors get stuck. There's just so much weight and it's being pushed down.
Walls.
Tension on the walls, yeah. Tension on the door itself, pushing it out. So yeah, to pry it open is definitely nice. So this, highly recommend this thing. It's actually pretty cool. This is my favorite tool out of everything that I bought.
It's fun to play with too.
It is fun to play with. This was, I don't think this was on your list.
You already had it.
I already had this.
Yeah.
But
the case is actually over there.
For sure, reciprocating saw with a battery that's got plenty of juice in it. You know what I'm saying? Nice and charged up. Always want to make sure that your batteries are charged. Otherwise, what's the point of having tools in your truck? So like once a week, you probably want to go in there, swap out the batteries. This was just talked about the other day on the Facebook page about how, you know, if you don't have something to cut, wood that's stuck over outside your dumpsters, you know, it's not about if someone's going to overstack your dumpster, overfill your dumpster. It's about when and how you're going to handle it. Are you going to just do a dry run and piss off a customer and lose a customer because you've got some wood sticking out, or are you going to take an extra 5-10 minutes, get up there, cut that stuff off, and get on the road?
So I was just saying before we started, last week I had a demo going on, and they called me and said, hey, our skid steer broke down. It's going to be a few days before we're back to work. You can go ahead and pick the dumpsters up. I mean, they warned me that they weren't able to push everything in because the skid steer broke down. And so normally most contractors, they'll snap everything off and compact it. Their machine was broke. So I showed up and I had 240s out there with wood sticking up everywhere. And so the Sawzall, or I don't have it on all my trucks, but on my truck, I also have a chainsaw with just a little 8-inch blade on it. Runs the same battery as the Sawzall, my grease gun. Make sure everything runs the same battery, keeps it easy. But so I've actually got a little mini chainsaw I can get up there and cut all that stuff off with as well. But yeah, if not, I mean, that stuff's sticking 4 or 5 feet above a 40-yard dumpster. You're not tarping it, you're not safely hauling it. Make sure you've got a way to address that, or you're gonna waste a lot of time driving back and forth or say a bunch of bad words.
Or something else happens where you absolutely need to cut something off.
Road rage.
Yeah, road rage for sure. Well, you know, I don't have road rage since I got in these trucks. That's the one thing that I feel like has, now that I'm driving a lot bigger trucks a lot more often.
You can't get in a hurry in these.
You can't catch up to them. So what can you do? You can just be pissed off at yourself in the cab. They're not going to hear you. So it's like you can be pissed off, but you're never going to catch up to them.
You don't use that air horn?
I use it.
They hear me.
I use it. But yeah. Sometimes I wish it was even louder. But
yeah.
What else do we got here? We got obviously good old WD-40. You ever see the guy on TikTok who does everything with WD-40? Like he'll brush his, I mean, he doesn't brush his teeth, but like he'll fix anything and whatever you need fixing, he'll fix it with WD-40.
I was gonna say that I'm of an older generation, but you're actually older than me. I'm not in that TikTok stuff. So I guess I'm an old soul.
My job is to be on social media, by the way, so I have to be on there. I don't do it for because I like to.
Touche.
Brake cleaner. You can talk about this.
Cleaning anything, grease. Sometimes my grease zerks, I'll clean those out. I have one in my truck. It's under my toolbox. A pocket screwdriver. If you know what it is, it's kind of like a, we call them like the jeweler's, like not quite that small, but a small flathead screwdriver. I keep one in the door pocket of my truck. We have made it a company deal. We actually have a group text where we will put our dumpster number and the date we greased it. So we can kind of keep a task, make sure I try to hit all my dumpsters every month. And so that way I don't do it.
You do your dumpsters every Monday?
Month.
Oh.
Once a month.
You grease your dumpsters every month?
Yeah. So I try. So you can look at them until they've been done recent. If not, you can actually look at our running text we have and say, okay, this dumpster was done on this date.
Gotcha.
Either it's good or let's do it again. We do it usually at the landfill. It's just easy to hit them while they're on the truck. None of the rollers are loaded. There's no tension on them. They take grease. The only thing, you got to stand it up to hit the door hinges. But it's, I mean, usually when you get out to close the door, is when I'll go ahead and hit all the rollers, and then I'll stand the dumpster up real quick, hit the hinges, and go on. It takes 3 minutes to grease a dumpster, and just trying to stay on top of that. Josh is professional, so his rollers don't have to roll. His truck does, but
it's true.
It's easier to grease them now. If the rollers ever seize up and it eats that pin up, they're welded in. It's not an easy just unbolt and swap them out. It's a pretty big project, so I'd rather take a few seconds, keep greasing them, and not ever worry about it.
Yeah.
But I keep that little screwdriver. That's what I was getting at, to clean around the grease fittings, because you had dirt and stuff in there. So I'll hit them with either WD-40 works good too, because it'll kind of loosen everything up. But use that little screwdriver, clean them out. That way your grease fitting
I think we got one of the little picks here too that we use.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there's one right there actually. So a pick would work too. Like I said, I use a little flathead screwdriver. The pick is nice if that ball in the grease fitting is stuck. They'll get stuck, so you can hit them with that pick. My screwdriver won't fit in there.
Obviously, Sawzall blades. This one's nice and used. We got a whole new.
Those carbide blades are phenomenal.
New one pack. And then why we have random drill bits, I'm not sure.
I don't know what that's for. You ain't got the drill in there.
But oh, I do have a drill. I carry a drill in the front.
There?
Yeah, I carry a drill in the because now I've got two of the pack outs that I bolted into the floor.
I forgot about that.
So I carry the drill in there, and I carry one of the just a regular drill bit set. Okay. That helps me out a lot. I mean, it's helped in the bind. But yeah, I keep that in there. So it's always nice to have. That's what this bag is for. And again, I just like to have, I mean, obviously, I like to have a little bit of organization here. It all goes into a toolbox, but I do like to have the bags and kind of separate what each one is for. This one's just regular stuff, and then you're gonna get into I think one's for cleaning, and then you're gonna get into another one for general items.
Yeah, so we'll do this one. Will be easier to go through real quick. Hand wipes. We get dirty. You touch stuff. It doesn't matter if you're like me and we're greasing dumpsters every day.
I grease dumpsters every now and then too.
I said every day.
But you're like me. Like I'm me.
Every day.
Earlier you age shamed me. Don't think I didn't notice that. I was just thinking about how you age shamed me.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I can't stand it. If you get grease on your hands, it'll be everywhere by the end of the day. Have a way to clean them off. Brake clean in a rag, hand wipes. Red rags. I am also kind of weird about my trucks, keeping them clean. I can't stand a dirty truck. We spend too much time in them. I can't stand nasty trucks. I understand it's a work truck, but they're expensive. So we keep microfiber rags in all the trucks. When you're sitting in line at the landfill, dust the dash off. Use your hand towels and clean all your handprints off the door. I can't stand when especially get somebody else's truck and you grab a steering wheel and something sticky. You have no idea what it was. It'll make me lose my mind. Keep your trucks clean. So when you're sitting in the landfill, you ain't got nothing better to do. You can either watch TikTok or clean your truck. Rain suit. If you've never got rain at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning and been wet all day, and it's very uncomfortable. I keep a rain suit underneath the seat of my truck. Josh has his in his toolbox. Every truck I have has rain suits in them. The gloves. If you know you're going to get your hands dirty, not accidentally touch them, put on some gloves, then you don't have to worry about the cleanup process or smearing stuff everywhere. And then a first aid kit. Shit's going to happen. Be ready. Man, whether it's headache, allergies, burn yourself, you accidentally, especially your passengers on our trucks, the stacks on the side, lose your balance and catch yourself on that exhaust pipe. See if you don't wish you had some burn cream or something. It'll happen. Be proactive instead of reactive. You'd rather be ready, have the stuff with you, than need it and not have it. Zip ties. That's self-explanatory. I think everybody's had to use zip ties. Look under your truck every now and then. I know going to the landfill, even like my mirrors are different. I'm still steel framed on my Kenworth, but the power going to my mirrors is still exposed for the mirror heaters and stuff. I've caught those on tree branches, breakers, and I got wires hanging. Had to re-zip tie stuff. Look under your truck. Like Josh's is clean, nothing's hanging. But I've had hydraulic hoses, electrical stuff. Eventually, catch something in the landfill on a job site and be hanging.
Yep.
If you're ready to tie it back up, it keeps you from ripping stuff off in the future.
Well, literally right now, my tarp is actually being held on the driver's side with about 10 zip ties.
Torn?
Yeah, well, not torn. I think I lost a bolt. So when you and I were doing it that one time, I found out that there is an actual hole in that pole.
Yeah, mine have it too, to where you can bolt the width.
Yeah, so that bolt is gone.
Mine doesn't have them either. The hole's there, but there was no bolts. But you can do that to keep your tarp from bunching to one side or the other.
That's what was causing it to keep going that way. So I just zip tied the crap out of it, and we're good to go. It's been good for a couple weeks now.
This is a tough one. If you trust your drivers to do repairs, you can keep this in your truck. I personally would rather them call me and let me fix it. Electrical connections. Stuff's going to happen. I've had mud get up in my front fenders and rip the wiring off of my turn signals on the fenders. It's nice to be able to fix it. So there's your strippers and crimpers. And these are also good ones. They've got the heat shrink on the ends so that they'll be weather tight. Once you crimp them in there, you can use a lighter, heat these ends up, and it'll shrink on there to seal the connection in there.
But even if you don't trust your driver to do it, at least you know that if it's in the vehicle.
So I can just show up.
That somebody can show up,
right.
You know what I'm saying, and get it done,
Yeah. It's nice to have on hand.
It's nice to be able to stay consistent once as you grow, right? You set up one truck, then you set up another truck, and then you stay consistent. So all your trucks are equally stocked and ready to go in case anything does happen.
Yeah, because like I said, if they call me, I can go out and I know what I need is on the truck. That is definitely handy. My trucks do have that. I just told them don't do it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
This right here, I told Josh they've saved my butt, and I don't know if anybody old school guys remember the bumper sticker fixing his seat when he cut that airline. But this would have helped him out, and I know you've done a couple videos where you've had to fix air leaks already.
Now that I know how to do it, it's super simple.
So these all work like a Chinese finger trap, basically. There's teeth in there. You just literally stick the air hose in there, and it bites it. Get it clean. So here's
like,
you got
it's like
splitters,
plumbing
tees.
shark bites, right?
Yes,
Same thing.
pretty similar. His kit has the cutter, so you can cut the airline cleanly with these. This tool right here actually is how, dang, if I can get it. So these all release just by pushing that in. That's what releases those teeth. So that tool allows you to get around the airline and just push it in. So it's all kind of a multi-purpose tool that came in his kit. And then mine actually doesn't have these. I like the threaded ones, so going directly into your tanks or your valves. All of mine, the kit I bought, just had the repair stuff. But I mean, I've had these start leaking in the dash. While going on the road, you just got to kind of deal with the air leak till you get back to the yard.
But the most common is going to be, I believe, this size on our trucks. So I do have, and I guess it's not here, but I know I have. I bought like
I've got a whole bag
3 more cases of these, this size alone, because I wanted a lot more.
That's going to be your most common, especially for like his seat. That would have fixed his problem instead of a bumper sticker. And sometimes you can make it back to the shop, but not always. An assortment, the assortment of grease fittings. Like I said, keep up your dumpsters, your trucks. It's easier to maintain them than fix stuff. This has got all different sizes, 90 degree, straight. These are all if you put these caps on them and you're proactive doing that, you don't have to clean them as much like I was saying, or having to pop that ball in there to get them to take grease. But these go bad, they get damaged, they get broke off, sometimes they just fall out. This isn't one you necessarily have to keep on the truck. I do, just because I want to fix it while I think about it. If not, I'll forget. Or that dumpster might go from job to job and I don't see it for a while. But you can keep it in the shop at a minimum. I prefer having it on my truck.
This is that kit I was telling you about, a whole nother kit, just with a bunch of extras. So I have 12 pieces of, I believe, the size that we use the most. One for each truck.
I've been told, I could be wrong, that brass is actually the only DOT approved. I have been DOT'd many times. I've never said anything about the plastic ones. But somebody told me that the brass is the only actual DOT approved repair. DOT approved, yeah. If you know how to work a test light, when something's not working, keep it simple. The KISS motto, keep it simple, stupid. A lot of times it'll be a fuse. This is the easy way to just check all your fuses instead of sitting there trying to pull everything out. If you know how a test light works, with power on, you can tap each side of the fuse. It'll light up on one side. If it doesn't on the other, you got a blown fuse. Both sides light up, it's good. In most cases, there are weird scenarios. But this will save you a lot of time diagnosing electrical stuff, figuring out why lights don't work. Are you getting power to it? Does it burn out? That's just a quick, little simple tool to use. A knife. I was taught as a kid, we always carry a knife. You never know when you're gonna need one. I usually have at least one on me. But I found out that your drivers don't always carry a knife, and you'll get pallet wrap wrapped up around stuff, or all kinds of random stuff. I've had tarps wrapped around drive shafts in the landfill. So to have a nice knife, the razor blade, will get you out of a bind. I thought that was normal, but it's not. So now you put them in the truck for the drivers, not to have an excuse. Yep. Same thing with cutters. If you've ever had a bed spring wrapped up around a drive shaft, an axle, brake can, anything, doing demos, duct work. You ever watch them try to load duct work, that cable or that coil from there will be strung out all the way across the job site. These cutters work great for just snipping that off and sucking the dumpster up. Yep. Crescent wrench, vice grips, channel locks, that should be fairly understandable where these come in handy. I don't think we need to really explain those too much. Fuses. Like I said, when you find out you got a bad fuse, make sure you have fuses that fit your truck. Whether they're the micros, the full size, some of them are like a breaker style. Find out what your truck has and keep fuses on hand. And that's actually a DOT requirement, by the way. Yes, it is. So, but not everybody watching this is going to be DOT. But yeah, if you're on a truck, trailer, whatever, keep fuses. But yes, if you got a DOT, it does require it. Electrical tape, another thing. If you got to do any repairs, I've rigged so much stuff with tape over the years, that's kind of like zip ties. Duct tape and zip ties, electrical tape. This makes a great bandage too. Whenever you cut yourself, it's flexible.
Would have been better to use that instead of a bumper sticker, but bumper sticker works.
You probably don't have electrical tape either.
I did not have anything.
This caging socket. You can get away with using a crescent wrench, pliers, whatever. If you've got a truck with air brakes and you have a brake chamber fail, you can release your brakes with a bolt that'll be on the side of your brake chamber. It's very long, that's why this socket is so deep. But you can manually release the brakes and allow you to get off the road, get to a repair shop, get home. I have run all day till the end of the day when I could fix it with my brakes manually released. I don't know if we've actually, probably need to do a better video on that. There are ways, if depending on where your air leak is on the service side or the release side, you can actually block off airlines. I've taken them loose, folded them, and zip tied it so it stayed kinked and I didn't have an air leak all day. You can actually take a line loose, put on your setting or your size, and stick a dime in there and put your airline back on. That dime creates a block, and so you don't lose air pressure. But if you ever need to manually release brakes, this socket makes that job much quicker than doing it with a crescent wrench.
Now, they're not all universal.
They are not. There's two main sizes. It's a 3/4 and a 15/16, I think. So figure out what your truck has. Or on Amazon, you can buy the kit that has both sizes for, I think, like $30 or $28, something like that. You can get both of them. But if you ever have to do it and you do it by hand with a crescent wrench, you'll understand why I recommend that socket for sure.
Finally, obviously, just a regular mechanics kit.
Tools. Kind of self-explanatory. You got to change lights, make any small hydraulic leaks. We get those happen. I've had the lines on my Tarp cylinders on Halbert come loose and be just shooting fluid. Having tools on hand. Now, granted, I mean, crescent wrenches and pliers help, but it is nice having sockets and ratchets. And
pick up a dumpster you're not supposed to. You need to change out the channel locks. You got them handy, ready to go.
Yeah, you've had to do that. Yeah, I mean, tools, that's kind of obvious. Work gloves.
I use them. I took them out. They're in my truck.
They're probably in your truck. Yeah, let's say a good set of work gloves. I prefer a leather glove. Some people like mechanics gloves, whatever, but we don't always know what's in these dumpsters. When you got to open that door, you don't want that on your hands. Even though you got hand wipes, I'd still rather not. You got to get up there and resituate stuff. I've had, sharp metal sticking up. You got to get up there and kind of bend. Gloves, safety, it's kind of obvious, I think.
Mm-hmm. And actually, the case that's on top of the toolbox right there, and I think Daniel took it out. I don't know where it's at right now, unless it's in there.
Gun.
Is my grease gun?
That's empty. It's
okay,
light.
so that's where my grease gun's supposed to be. So grease gun as well usually stays in the truck. Now that we have multiple trucks, I think that's why it's here, because we just leave it here now. Got to take the case out, but eventually have a grease gun.
So I have one in every truck because we grease the dumpsters
regularly.
Too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
My deal with my drivers, once a week your truck gets greased. I'm not talking about getting under it, but our rail system, we grease it every week. I don't care what day you do it on, just make sure you do it every week. I can obviously look at the truck and tell if it's been done recently. If you're doing a live load while you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs waiting, go ahead and grease it, then you don't have to worry about doing it at the shop later. I try to get my trucks washed every week. My driver, he likes to grease it, then wash it, so all the extra grease gets washed off. I don't care how he does it, whatever order, but yeah, put some kind of a, it's easy as owner-operators to get lazy. We can expect it out of our drivers, but if we're still in trucks, we gotta stay accountable. If you're an owner-operator, make sure you're taking care of your equipment. If you're making it a habit to check over your equipment, service it, grease stuff, ideally once a week at least. Obviously, we all do a pre-trip. We do a very thorough pre-trip every morning before we leave the yard. But go through and look at all that stuff. Look at your suspension, check tires, check lights.
We do. That's how I found my lug nut missing the other day.
Yeah. I'm saying, as an owner-operator, it's easy to get lazy. Like, I know I was busy last year. I was really busy. I didn't want to spend any more time with that truck than I had to.
Or like never greasing your dumpsters. Matter of fact, yeah, go ahead.
I wasn't going to throw you under the bus. But make it a habit to grease them, check it, look it over. They actually make a socket. I think it's called like a gator grip. And it has, they have different sizes, but it has a bunch of looks like little needles in it. Kind of remember like the square doors when we were kids, you put like your hand in and print. So it's a socket almost like that. I'm sure that one socket can hit multiple bolt sizes. Throw that on a ratchet, go around and just bump stuff on your trailer, on your truck, make sure everything's tight. Maintenance is one of the things I think gets overlooked too much, and you end up in a bind. Another thing, we base this on what we keep on our trucks. If you're on a trailer, make sure you've got either drive-on blocks to get a tire off the ground, an impact to change a tire, or some form of a jack, because you will definitely get flats, and it's never at an opportune time.
Yeah. For sure.
You're gonna be on the side of the highway when it's pouring down rain or 120 degrees in rush hour. But yeah, make sure you've got the stuff to change the tire, a portable compressor, whether you've got, you know, an actual compressor or even they sell some small ones on Amazon. I bought my wife one. She's always getting flats, but yeah, when you can set your tire pressure, plug it in and walk away, it charges with USB and it'll go up to like 80 pounds, I think. Might not be full on some of our tires, but 80 pounds will get you off the road for sure. Make sure you got a way to air up tires.
But when you have the right tools, it doesn't make it as bad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, especially when you have a trailer and you're constantly having flats all the time, you can literally change out a tire in under 10 minutes.
Oh yeah.
You know,
if you've got everything,
if you've got what you're
familiar with the process.
Yep.
I don't know on the trailers if you can do it. My truck, now granted I'm not changing my tires on the side of the road, but on my rails, I can actually lift my back axles completely off the ground.
Yep, depends on the trailer.
Okay, the trailers.
Yeah, but even if not, you can just put some blocks of wood and stuff on the back of the
Well, that
rail.
was going to be what I say if the rails won't do it. But like I've got those composite blocks I use I keep them in my truck because I use them to stack dumpsters. Yeah, you could put those, something like that, under the back rails and lift the trailer off the ground if you had to. I guess probably not loaded, wouldn't be ideal.
So you're saying the way I stack dumpsters is not ideal? You don't like how I stack dumpsters?
I mean, you do you. But see,
whatever works, works.
But as we're sitting here, I want to point out that you got 2 jack stands right there. I would have propped the dumpster up on jack stands versus
I never even thought about that. I never even thought about that. But then, you know, you can damage those when you...
Yeah.
Yeah, I never did think about that. That would be good.
Instead of your little single leg prop deal you had.
Yeah. I mean, I got the stuff. It just, you know, you learn as you go.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're the kind of person who's just relying on other people to do the stuff for you, you're going to go broke. I am usually that person, but I realize in this business, like, you really have to learn to do a lot of shit yourself.
You've come a long way the last few years.
I'm trying. Fuck me, I'm trying. It's still hot as hell out, though. I don't like this hot heat.
Yeah.
So I don't like anything to do over 80 degrees. But no, this stuff is really good. Like I said, it's simple stuff like this, again, that literally takes you out of service.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And then you pay. I mean, if you don't have this, what are you going to do? You're going to literally pay somebody to come out and put a 5-cent little connector on an airline to charge you a service call.
You must spend $500 when he shows up.
Yeah, when you just buy it ahead of time, $7-10 bucks. I don't remember how much it is, but keep it in your truck.
So I messed up. I tried getting a video when I had a brake chamber blow. I was like, oh, this is a good opportunity to show the guys in our network. And I tried taking a video, and I had my truck run, so the audio was horrible. You couldn't hear it. But I literally just picked up a dumpster. I made it about 200 yards, and truck started beeping at me. I was losing air. Hadn't even made it out to the road yet, and there's no way I could have drove anywhere. It was dumping air so fast. But knowing how to block off my airline and cage the brakes, with trying to shoot a video, I think I spent 5 minutes maybe. And that was my first pickup of the day, and I ran all day. While I was out running around, I stopped, got a new brake chamber. When I got home that evening, changed it, and went back to work. But had I not been prepared or known what to do, I'd have been calling a mechanic.
Right.
I'd have sat on the side of the road. It would have ruined my entire day. And the brake chamber is like $83, I think, for my truck. It's cheap. I'd have paid a mechanic double that just to show up. So familiarize yourself with your trucks. If you've got an air brake system, learn how to change the brake chamber, or at least figure out how to bypass if they do leak. It'll save you one day, I promise. But I had 2 of them go out in a month. I mean, it happens. Might go years without it happening, but I had 2 of them go out in a month. Having the right tools on hand and being familiar with your equipment can save you. And I don't expect everybody to be like a mechanic, but there are simple things. Watch some YouTube videos. If you're seeing this, I already know you watch YouTube. So watch some more YouTube videos. Figure out how to cage brakes. Google it. But there's little things will definitely save your day, save your stress. If, like you said,
Save your business.
If you're prepared, it's not that big of a deal. If something happens and you don't have the tools, don't have the know-how, whatever, it's a very stressful situation. But if you understand it, it's like, hey, this isn't a big deal. 10, 15 minutes, I'm back on the road.
Right.
Your seat, the air, depending on the air leak, it can put you out of service. It can not build enough pressure to release your brakes. It can just be annoying listening to it leak all day. But by having this little kit right here, you just literally pull out that knife or a pocket knife out of your pocket, cut the line, stick one of these in, and you're done in 30 seconds. I mean,
well, Daniel came the other day, and I think I don't know if it's just because I have been around cars all my life. Doesn't mean I'm handy with cars, but I always feel like the car tells you a story, or the vehicle will tell you a story, right? And so, like, I jumped in the truck the other day after not being in international for probably 3 months, and I drive it to the mechanic shop. I can hear that there was, it sounded wrong. I could hear that there was an air leak somewhere.
And when you called the exhaust leak?
It was an exhaust leak. It definitely was an exhaust leak. And I could feel something was wrong. And there was other stuff that I found out as well. So one day he parks the car here. I just happened to be walking by and I hear that there's a little bit of air. He didn't notice, you know what I'm saying? And again, not knocking him because it happens to a lot of guys who are drivers, but a lot of times they just don't, not that they don't care, but it's just, they're not paying as much attention to it as we are.
Right.
So when I walk by it, I'm like, oh shit, it's got an air leak. Come in here, 30 seconds later, I'm done. I'm done. Cut it, done, put it on, I'm done. Everything's good to go. Which before it would have been like, oh shit, what am I gonna do now? I gotta take it somewhere to have somebody fix it. Which is stupid because, again, it's such a simple fix. If you don't know though, you don't know.
Yeah, and these fittings, if you break down per deal, you're spending maybe 50 cents, if that, per fitting.
It's ridiculous.
Very, very easy.
And it happens more often, I think, than even I assumed, because there's so many brake lines on the truck, and they're just simple plastic little hoses. Yeah. That's it.
And they get dry, they rub.
Yeah.
Are your controls electric or air inside the cab?
Air.
There.
Yep.
So same with mine.
Yep.
So I've got multiple extra airlines coming back, you know, underneath the cab to my controls because they're all air valves. But yeah, there's a lot of potential air leak spots on these trucks. I mean, I've had them. One of my main supplies to the brake system, just old and dry. Literally, just going down the road, all of a sudden it just dumped air, locked up the rear brakes. It wasn't on my truck; it was a company driver. But yeah, one of the air lines broke right at the fitting coming off the tank. Yeah. And because I mean, I ran wreckers for years, and so a lot of times we go to tow vehicles. It would be 4 busted airlines. And we'd go to tow it. Obviously, I still need air to release the brakes and air up suspension. So I'd usually end up fixing their system so I could tow their truck. But so we've always had these in our trucks. But yeah, I've had it running down the highway, and I'll start dumping air before I could pull over, locked up the brakes on the road. Yep. I've had to, when I was towing, I've had to go pick up 18-wheelers sitting in the middle of a highway where it locked up. They slid across 2 lanes as the trailer brakes set, and they're just stuck in the middle of I-35 in Denton. Yeah. I mean, it happens. Like, be prepared. Well, I haven't also showed it on the channel, but we just installed those loose lug nut indicators. Yeah. I didn't get no. I was surprised you didn't say nothing. I was impressed that we found. Well, I couldn't remember if they were on there when you got it or not. No, I got them on all the trucks now. We put them on all the trucks. I got rid of. I just all your caps. I took out the hubcaps. I mean, what's the point of having a hubcap to hide, you know, your hubs when you got to service them anyways? You got to make sure your front wheel has hub oil in it. So you should be checking that regularly anyways. And like I said, it was that that missing lug nut that really freaked me out, that I was like, I can't believe how simple it is to lose an entire lug nut. Like, where the hell it went, I don't know. Especially because the torque on this is like supposed to be, I think, around 450 foot-pounds. That's tight. Something happened. Yeah. Somebody, it didn't get tightened. It didn't get tightened. Right. But so at the end of the day, I was like, well, I put that on all the trucks. I'd rather be safe than sorry. I want to be able to look at a glance that, you know, obviously you still go around when you're doing your pre-trip and you check it off. But I want to be able to look at a glance that my truck is safe. I'd rather be safe than look pretty. But yeah, take time, go around your truck, check stuff beyond your pre-trip. If you're a smoker, light you a cigarette, walk around, look at all the bolts, see if there's a fresh hole somewhere, a clean spot where a bolt used to be. Tanner just found one on our truck yesterday. Actually, one of my Tarp mounts is missing a bolt. But just take time, look it over. You'd rather find it than have DOT find it or something break. Or something, yeah, fall off because you didn't check it. Who was it that had the axle come loose just a couple weeks ago? In our network? Yeah, U-bolts broke. Who was it? I don't know. We won't have to call him out, but yeah, U-bolts on the trailer broke. The whole rear axle on the trailer swung. I know who it was. I'm not going to say anything. But tore up a fender, a tire, put him out. Thankfully, he was actually in his yard when it happened, not running down the road. Had he been going down the road at 60 and the axle comes out from under the trailer, would have been catastrophic. Well, he was in the yard when he noticed it happened. Who knows when it actually happened? No, that's when he said he was turning and it came out. But yeah, check this stuff. Clayton said he was what broke multiple of them in a couple years. Check those U-bolts. Make sure they're not only there, but tight. One of our other guys showed me at lunch last week that the retainer rings around his leaf spring had gotten bent, and he had leaf springs starting to rotate. That's not catastrophic, but it's something easy. If you catch it like he did, it just started, you can straighten them back out, put those retainers back on. But if you're not checking your equipment, you're not going to know until it's broke. Right. So anyways, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. This is a long video. Definitely the tools that you should have. If you guys have any tools that you suggest for us to put in to add to this, please do, because
I'm definitely always learning. So put in the comments below if there's something that we missed. It looks like Dylan has another thought.
A hammer. I know we had one somewhere.
We did have a hammer. I think I took it out and used it for something else.
When we did the first video, there was a hammer in here.
Yes, there was a first hammer in the first video.
But yeah, I know that made me think of it actually because my buddy Josh, the mechanic, said, "Hey, when you go back over there, tell him that that's not a hammer."
Yeah,
y'all were using that
this is true.
in the video.
Yep.
But yeah, and I mean, I'm a mechanic for years. I've got tools galore. I wish I could keep everything on my truck. This was kind of the basics that fit in a toolbox.
I want a bigger toolbox, by the way.
I've been considering if I can add a second one on mine.
Yeah,
Yep.
I've got room.
Yeah, if there's anything else you can think of that is small and doesn't take up a whole lot of room that we could add, heck, it might be something we hadn't thought about, share it.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Cool. All right, guys, we appreciate that. With that, don't forget to like, subscribe.
Smash the notification bell.
See you in November.